All right, welcome back. This video is going to talk about something that maybe you've heard before. Keep, flip, change. Kind of need to deconstruct this or break this down before we do division when it comes to our rational functions, because otherwise it just might mess this up for you even more. But you've seen this before when a fraction divided by another fraction, or 1/2 divided by 3/4 is our example. And then we tell you keep, flip, change. And I'm like, what the heck is that, right? Let me show you, just kind of review this and then kind of break things down for you. So we take the 1/2 divided by 3/4. And what we do is we keep, I don't know what the heck, keep whatever, we keep the 1/2, we change the division to multiplication, then we flip the 3/4 to 4/3, and then we multiply across. 1 times 4 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6. Voila, we've divided by fractions. And in this case, we have to reduce to 2/3, and ta-da, yay, we've got our answer. And that's how you deal with division and fractions, which maybe, I think your teachers might have taught you why that happens. I don't know, because I've never really known until I started to teach. And then maybe your younger siblings with some of the teachers you have now or had now in Weisburn who've gone through the CGI training, which is probably the best way. And I'm going to try to do that here, but I'm not the best at it. Some of your elementary teachers have training and they are really good at this. So I want to just kind of caution you that I might be doing this wrong, but at least it's a way to see why this division and multiplication are related. So say we have I'm going to change that to 6 divided by 2, right? So one way to see this is visually. You have 6 blocks, and we want to divide them into like 2 pieces each. How many times do we have 2 in there, right? So what happens here is I count 2, 1, 2. I got one group of 2, another group of 2, and then another group of 2. How many groups of 2 do we have? We have 3 of them, right? It's going all back down to counting. So 6 divided by 2 is like, how many groups of 2 do we have of 6? And the answer to this one, well, we know 6 divided by 2 is 3. Look, in the visual, there's 3. Now that might maybe make sense, or like why, maybe might not make sense why we draw that out. But when it comes to fractions, maybe this will help. So say we have 4 and we want to divide it in half, right? 4 divided by 1/2. What the heck does that mean, right? So we have 4 pieces here, and then we're going to cut them in halves. Cut them in half. That orange line, I cut each one in half. Well, how many pieces do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 8 pieces there, right? So we've broken the 4 into, divided them into halves. And then what do we now have? We've got 8, right? So that's what that division does, is it really split them up into groups. You're grouping things. But what we have seen is this method. Well, I take the 4, I keep that, I change the division into multiplication. We flip 1/2 and turn it into 2, and then boom, there's our 8. Which, good or bad, it gets us the answer we want. But I would say bad in the sense that, like, that's probably in your math learning where we just tell you, hey, we're going to show you what to do. You just take it on faith that that's how you do it. You don't have to understand it, but this is how you get through this cleanly and efficiently. But at the same time, the bad is you don't understand, or you're never challenged with why that happens. And so you go through this math learning of just like, well, just tell me what to do and I do it, without having to understand why that happens, which is why we lose many students along the way, which maybe your younger brothers and sisters who have had the CGI training have a better sense of division and fractions and the things that sometimes stress us out or spin our minds to a place of, we don't understand what's going on. But when we have this division, yeah, we're going to do keep, flip, change. Understand, though, that you're really grouping things up. And then it might make the things smaller. When you're dividing by a half will make them smaller. You'll get a bigger number, right? So that's why 4 divided by 1/2, you get this 8. You're taking your 4 pieces, cutting them into halves, and now counting the new amount that you have. Which I might have rushed through this, but the whole idea is that there is a reason for all this. There is meaning to this, and just knowing keep, flip, change might, I wouldn't say hurt you in the long run, but it's better to know what is happening than to not. All right, so when we do division with our rational functions, hopefully this gives you a heads up on what's coming up next. All right, thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next video.